Hi, Amanda Markham here with the Markham Sold team at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. Today, behind the scenes, we have the pleasure of talking with one of my favorite attorneys ever, Stuart Olds with Eaves, Olds, Bohannon and Floyd. He's a real estate attorney, and we have some really hot questions for him today. All right, so first, Stuart, in a real estate transaction in the state of Kentucky, what is your role as an attorney or title company?
I think an attorney in any real estate transaction has three tasks. First, and perhaps most important, would be to conduct a title search on the property. In doing that, we go back and review the records related to the property for at least 30 years, make sure the deeds have been properly executed, recorded, make sure there are no outstanding liens on the property, or if they are, we obtain payoffs of those and make sure those are taken care of as part of the closing process. Second, depending upon whether it's a cash transaction or a lender, we work with the lender in preparing some of the loan documents.
Yeah.
And that varies lender by lender. Some lenders ask us to do more, and some lenders do most of that themselves. Once we're ready to close, then our goal is to answer questions of the parties, work with both of the parties, make sure we explain the documents to them, they understand the transaction, and are ready to proceed. Hopefully we can give both parties a comfort level at closing. Oftentimes this is, as you know, their biggest investment ever, and we try to work with them and make them as comfortable as possible at the closing.
Absolutely, yeah, and you do an excellent job of that. That's very, very important. All right, so our next question, Stuart, what are some of the fees associated with what you do? You don't have to give us prices, but just what are some of the things that you charge and they cover?
Generally, there's a fee for doing the title search and handling the closing itself, and that varies attorney by attorney, and varies sometimes depending upon the price of the property and what's involved in the transaction.
Okay.
There's generally a fee for preparing the deed and handling the seller's end of the transaction.
Yes.
Other fees would be recording fees to the county clerk's office, and anytime there's a sale of property, there's a transfer tax that's $1 per thousand of the sale price that's charged by the county clerk's office.
Okay.
We collect that as part of the closing and transmit that as part of the funds that are necessary to record the deed.
So all that seems like that's money well spent, because that's peace of mind at a closing. You're getting a free and clear title, and you can feel good that that property is all yours and it's recorded and everything. All the T's are crossed and I's are dotted, just like we need them to be at a real estate transaction. So in a real estate transaction, does a buyer and a seller need their own attorney?
Buyer probably does not need an attorney separate from the attorney working on the transaction that's also assisting the lender. That attorney's responsibilities are both to the buyer and to the lender.
Okay.
Seller could make their own decision of whether they feel like they need a separate counsel to prepare the deed and the documents of transfer. There are some obligations included in the deed, such as warranties and etc. And if the seller feels comfortable in doing that, they can hire somebody separately. But if not, we can prepare the documents. Generally, the contract calls for a general warranty deed, and so there's not much question about that.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, I've not had very many sellers. I mean, maybe a handful, like less than 5% in my time. Sellers want to have their own representation, but I get asked that a lot. People think that they need to hire their own attorney, and then they hear an attorney's involved, and they're like, oh my gosh, how much is that going to cost? Well, it's actually probably for other fields of law affordable. So, well, thank you so much, Stuart. I hope that answers some of our frequently asked questions. And behind the scenes, we work with Stuart and everyone at his office a lot. They do the majority of our closings, but they also do other services. You prepare wills, and what else do you do?
We're a full-service law firm. There are 7 attorneys in the office, so we handle estates, prepare wills, handle litigation, tax matters, pretty much everything that of a civil nature.
Okay, awesome. Yep, and they do a great job. So thank you so much, Stuart. We really appreciate it. See you guys next time.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me, and I always appreciate working with you.